welcome back to another Artifact Corner. Today we will be looking at this beautiful portrait of Elizabeth Webb, more commonly known as Aunt Eliza. Elizabeth Webb was the sister of Henry Webb, who married our Frances Henrietta Delord. After Frances passed away 3 weeks after giving birth to their daughter, their baby was entrusted to Betsey Delord. Betsey cared for baby Fannie for the first 4 years of her life, but then Fannie was sent to the Webb family farm in Connecticut to be raised by Henry's sisters, Eliza and Amelia. This portrait of Elizabeth, or Aunt Eliza, was painted when she was 63 years old in 1846 by the American portrait artist Jared Flagg. Let's learn a bit more about this very talented artist. Jared Bradley Flagg was born on June 16, 1820 in New Haven, Connecticut, to parents Martha and Henry Collins Flagg. Jared's father, Henry, was a 5-time mayor of New Haven, Connecticut. Jared's 2 older brothers, George Whiting Flagg and Henry Collins Flagg III, were also notable artists. The Flagg brothers all studied painting under their famous uncle, Washington Allston. Washington Allston was an incredibly talented painter who studied at Harvard and the Royal Academy of Arts in London. Allston was sometimes called the American Titian because his style resembled the great Venetian Renaissance artists in their display of dramatic color and contrast. His work greatly influenced the development of U.S. landscape painting. Clearly, Jared and his brothers had a fantastic teacher. Jared also attended Trinity College as well as Columbia University. He served as an Episcopal minister for a decade, including as rector of Grace Church, Brooklyn Heights, until he resumed the practice of his artwork. Among Flagg's more notable portraits are several of the judges of the New York Court of Appeals, including a 3/4 length of Chief Justice Sanford E. Church, which was placed in the New York State Capitol, Rhode Island Governor Daniel Russell Brown, which was placed in the Rhode Island State House, an 1887 life-size full-length portrait of William M. Evarts, which also hung in the Capitol, and several portraits of Commodore Vanderbilt, one of which hangs in the director's room at the Grand Central Depot in New York, and William H. Vanderbilt, among others. He also wrote a biography of his uncle, Washington Allston, published by Charles Scribner's Sons in 1892. Jared was married 3 times throughout the course of his life and had several children, many of whom went on to artistic careers. All except one of his children, Jared Bradley Flagg Jr. He was a shady New York City investor who was convicted of operating a Ponzi scheme with Daniel N. Morgan, who had been the United States Treasurer under President Cleveland. The bulk of Jared Jr.'s crimes came about following his father's death, so thankfully Jared Sr. didn't have to see his son go to prison. Jared Flagg died from heart failure on September 25, 1899 in New York City. He is buried in Connecticut. Our portrait by Jared Flagg of Aunt Eliza is really lovely. Her face is quite warm and you can see a woman who has lived a good life. The portrait is in quite good condition and we are so lucky to have it in our collections. Thanks so much for stopping by.